Now reading chapter number 6, The Red Diary. The last rays of the evening sun barely penetrated the thick dark clouds that had gathered above the manor. Raj found himself standing at the entrance of the old mansion once again, its grand facade looming ominously before him. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying wood, and the silence was so absolute it felt as though the very world had held its breath. He didn't remember how he had gotten there, but the sense of déjà vu was overwhelming, more potent than ever before. It was as if the manor had pulled him back, refusing to let him leave. Karishma was nowhere to be seen. The last thing he remembered was driving towards Kochi, stopping at a restaurant and seeing Apsara. But now he was back here, standing on the threshold of the manor, with a feeling of dread tightening in his chest. The door creaked open, as if on its own, inviting him inside. Raj hesitated, but something compelled him to step through the threshold. The door closed behind him with a soft click, and the dim light of the hallway stretched out before him, shadows dancing eerily on the walls. He was alone. As he ventured deeper into the mansion, the darkness seemed to close in around him. The rooms he passed were filled with the echoes of memories, fragments of conversations he couldn't quite place. His footsteps echoed hollowly on the wooden floor, the sound swallowed by the oppressive silence. Raj's heart raced as he entered a room that felt familiar, the library. The dim light from the single flickering candle on the desk barely illuminated the space, casting long, unsettling shadows. The air was thick with dust, and the faint scent of old books lingered in the air. On the desk, amidst the piles of yellowing papers and forgotten trinkets, lay a red diary. Its cover was worn, the edges frayed, as if it had been handled many times. A strange compulsion drew Raj to it, and he reached out with trembling hands to pick it up. As he opened the diary, the pages crackled under his fingers. The handwriting was neat but faded with age, the ink slightly smudged in places. The first entry was dated decades ago, long before Raj had ever set foot in this manor.
June 12, 2015. I never thought I would return to this place. But fate has a way of pulling you back to where it all began. The memories haunt me, but I cannot escape them. This manor, once filled with laughter and life, now stands as a monument to the sorrows that has befallen our family. Apsara is too young, too innocent to understand the curse that lingers here.
Raj's breath caught in his throat as he read the words. He flipped through the pages, the entries growing darker, more desperate with each turn.
July 23rd, 2015. He is different now. The light in her eyes has dimmed, replaced by a shadow that follows her everywhere. She says she hears whisper in the walls and sees shadows moving in the corners of her vision. I fear for her, but there is nothing I can do. This house, it has taken hold of her, just as it did with my father. September 15, 2015. There was an accident today. Apsara, she's gone. They say it was a tragic fall, but I know better. This house, it wanted her. It took her, and now it wants me too. My wife and my son don't care about us, so there is no point bringing them here. I can always feel it watching, waiting. I must leave, but I cannot. This place, it won't let me go.
Raj's hands trembled as he turned the pages, the horror of the words sinking in. His uncle Amit hadn't just died, he had been consumed by the darkness of this manor, trapped just as Raj felt he was now. The last entry was dated the night before Amit's death.
September 1st, 2015. I have decided to stay, to try and understand what this place wants. There is something here, something old and powerful, that has taken hold of this house. Apsara tried to fight it, but she was too weak. I can only hope that I am strong enough to resist its pull. But if I fail, I fear I will be lost to it as well. I have told my lawyer to call Raj and give this place to him. Maybe he will save us.
Raj closed the diary, his heart pounding in his chest. The room felt colder now, the darkness pressing in on him. He could hear the faintest whispers, just at the edge of his hearing, growing louder and more insistent with each passing moment. He looked around the library, the shadows seeming to move of their own accord. The realization hit him like a cold wave. He wasn't alone. Raj stood up, clutching the diary tightly in his hand, his breath coming in shallow, rapid gasps. The door to the library creaked open slightly, as if beckoning him to step through. The hallway beyond was pitch black, the air thick with the same oppressive presence that had taken his uncle. He had to get out of here, but the manor wouldn't let him go. It was holding him just as it had held Amit, trapped in its dark embrace. A cold wind blew through the room, extinguishing the candle on the desk. Raj was plunged into complete darkness. The whispers grew louder, filling his mind with a cacophony of voices, all speaking in a language he couldn't understand. In the darkness, Raj felt the walls closing in around him. He took a step towards the door, but something held him back, a force that seemed to pull him deeper into the darkness. The diary slipped from his grasp, falling to the floor with a soft thud. Raj's last thought before the darkness consumed him was of Karishma, her voice calling out to him from somewhere far away. Raj. But here, in the heart of the manor, he was alone. The whispers surrounded him, wrapping him in a shroud of darkness as the last remnants of light faded away. And then There was nothing. Everything was dark.